A few days ago, I was entertaining at a local senior living community and saw a familiar face, Mr. Garl. This time we snapped a picture. I seemed large next to him here in this photo, but believe me, Mr. Garl is a huge man. You see, back in 1945, a young 20-year-old Marine named Garl, along with hundreds of his brothers, slogged onto the soft black sand of Iwo Jima, soon to enter the fight of their lives. The Japanese Imperial Army held their fire, waiting for men and equipment to pile up. "One fellow was shot 3 feet to my side," Mr. Garl told me. "Another 6 feet away went down dead, and a Marine a few feet behind me was shot. I don't know how I survived." The United States Marines, sailors, and Army boys did finally win that horrific battle, securing an incredibly strategic island in the pursuit of complete victory against evil. Fast forward many decades to today, Tuesday, November 17, 2020. Over 75 years have passed since that terrible black sand turned red with the blood of our troops. But today the weather was nice here in Hot Springs. The sky was blue, birds sang, and I pulled up to Mr. Garl's apartment. His two daughters, both in their 70s, had arranged for me to sing just for him. The Entertainment Foundation provides this as a service. And as a side note, please visit the Facebook page and website for the Entertainment Foundation to learn more. His daughters had asked me to appear, and I was thrilled. Mr. Garl was waiting. We chatted for a bit, and I joked that I was glad his girls turned out prettier than he had. He laughed and said, "Me too." His daughters told me he would enjoy some Elvis, perhaps a rendition of Amazing Grace, too. No problem, I sang away. As our time together drew to a close, it occurred to me that "God Bless the USA" would be a perfect way to wrap it up. Lee Greenwood's classic began, and I sang along. And suddenly, the gravity of the situation sprang upon me as if it were some cosmic jack-in-the-box. And I'm proud to be an American where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died who gave that right to me. And there was Garl. One fellow was shot 3 feet to my side. My throat threatened to choke off. My heart began to swell. This diminutive man was a giant. I sing about it, but he lived it. He saw it, smelled the gunpowder, heard the bullets crying out, heard his buddies crying out. And I kept singing. I imagine most of us know the song, but do you recall towards the end when it slows a bit? There's a slight pause, and then the final, "And I'm proud to be an American," while drums roll and the volume builds. It was that moment in the song. That moment. One of those unearthly, holy moments. It was at that moment, as I sang, the frail, near centenarian, the man who at 20 years old ran into the withering machine gun fire on Iwo Jima. At that moment in my song, he grabbed his cane and shakily stood to his feet. "I won't forget the men who died." I struggled to finish the song, for before me was indeed a giant of a man. "God bless the USA." I shook his hand as the song ended, and his daughters hugged him, and he replied, "I fought for them, and I fought for you," he told me. I know, Mr. Garl. I know. Thank you, my friend. Truly a day of days for the simple entertainer here. Perhaps I'll never again meet an Iwo Jima soldier. Shoot, our World War II heroes are fewer every day. But a few minutes away from where I type this, there's a great big, small man. And I had no choice but to tell you about that day. I was in the presence of an American hero. God bless the